Bonjour les enfants. Comment ça va? Ça va bien? Aujourd'hui, il fait froid. How are you? Today, it's cold. So today, I thought we would ask the question, as-tu un animal? As-tu un animal? Do you have a pet? Literally translated, have you got an animal? So we're going to learn different words for some pets and some animals that you could have as pets. It won't be all of them, so you might have to look some up if we don't cover what you might have. But let's start with, we'll do the pictures and then we'll do the actual spellings of the words, and then you can pause and you can see what you can remember. You can write them down. Let's try and remember if they are or une. So here we have, anybody know what it is? A cat? Some of you might remember. It's un chat. Un chat. The spelling for un chat. Voilà un chat. Here is a cat. Un chat. A cat. You could have a hamster. Hamster's nice and easy. Un hamster. Un hamster. Literally spelt. Un hamster. So, here we have, you might have a bird. Can you remember the name for a bird? The word for a bird. Voila. Oh, I've already put the spellings up. Turn that round. Un oiseau. Un oiseau. And here is how we spell un oiseau. Un oiseau. Un oiseau. So, in French, remember, it's always important to remember whether it a noun, an object, person, place or thing, is masculine or feminine. What we're saying here is a bird, and it's un because it's masculine. So, we're going to carry on with some more masculine animals. Now, the word stays the same in French, generally speaking, the way we would learn it, regardless of whether our animals are male or female. We would use the same term because we're talking about the actual noun, the actual word for that animal might be masculine or feminine, regardless of whether it is masculine or feminine. Here's another one. Some of you might remember this. Un serpent. Un serpent. And here we have, nice and easy spelling for us, un serpent. Voilà, un serpent. You might have, anyone remember? Un cochon d'Inde. Un cochon d'Inde. Voilà, that's how we spell un cochon d'Inde. Cochon d'Inde. We've been learning it. We've been recapping these in year 5 and lots of children remembered. Un lapin. Un lapin. Spelling for un lapin. Un lapin. Un lapin. Now we're going to do quite a lot of vocabulary today, probably more than usual, but we're not going to actually start to put together full sentences and describing them or talking about quantities, because as soon as we do start to go into the plural or adjective describing the animals, the grammar gets involved. So next week we will look at a bit of that. We'll talk about we'll describe animals, and we'll talk about if you've got more than one. But here we've got a horse. A horse is un cheval. Un cheval. And here we go. Un cheval. And, excuse the black and white picture, a fish is un poisson. Un poisson. So here is un poisson. Sorry, un poisson. Now, some of you might remember the word for a goldfish. And a goldfish in French is un poisson rouge. So literally a red fish. Un poisson rouge, that would be a goldfish. So if somebody says to you, as-tu un animal? And you've got a fish, you could say oui. j'ai un poisson. Oui, j'ai un poisson. Yes, I have a fish. Yes, I have a fish. Oui, j'ai un poisson. You might have one of these. One of these. And one of these, a dog is called, can you remember? Do you know it? Un chien. Un chien. Let's see how we spell that. So voilà. Un chien. As-tu un animal? Oui, j'ai un chien. Have you got a pet? Yes, I have a dog. J'ai un chien. I have a dog. Un chien. So if you're going to spell this one, remember it's I-E-N. Chien. And remember, we don't pronounce that last letter most of the time in French. Un chien. What about if you happen to have a duck? What about a duck? You might have un canard. Un canard. So here's how we spell. Can I hold everything at once? Un canard. Un canard. So, so most of those animals were masculine. Did you see the determiner was a was a. So the determiner is the word that goes in front of the noun, a or the. So here we go. You might have a mouse. A mouse. And a mouse is une souris. Une souris. So a mouse, une souris. And our last animal might have, where's it gone? You might have une tortue. Une tortue. And une tortue. Voilà, une tortue. So if somebody says to you, do you have a pet? And you have a tortoise. You'll say, they would ask you, as-tu un animal? Do you have a pet? Oui, j'ai une tortue. I have a tortoise. Oui, j'ai une tortue. And une being the same as one in this instance. So, next week we'll learn how to say more than one pet. We'll start to describe them. So we'll talk about plurals and we'll talk about adjectives. So there's a little video I made earlier when I was out with my nephews and nieces and their two little dogs. Et voilà, deux chiens. Il s'appelle Peppa and il s'appelle Chili. It's very hard to record these dogs because they don't like standing still. Voilà, deux chiens. So how do we say there are two dogs? Voilà, deux chiens. Two dogs. If you don't have a pet, you might want to say non. Je n'ai pas d'animal. Non. Je n'ai pas d'animal. So here's how we would say that. No, I do not have a pet. No, I do not have a pet. Non. Je n'ai pas d'animal. Non. Je n'ai pas d'animal. So that's how you say no, I haven't got a pet. So, a quick recap of some of them. I'm going to pull some out randomly and see if you can remember what they are. Un chat. Voilà, un chat. Upside down's not going to help. Un chat. What about, let me see, what else? Ooh. Can you remember the word for rabbit? What was the word for a rabbit? Let's see if you can remember. Can I find it? Un lapin. Un lapin. What was the word for our dog? Our dog's a very special dog in our house. Un chien. What was the word for a horse? Can you remember? Was un cheval. Un cheval. So, and if you don't have a pet, non, je n'ai pas d'animal. No, I do not have a pet. So there you go. Quite a lot we've gone through there. Quite a lot of vocabulary. So if you want to watch it again and test yourself for the spelling, or if you can remember the words without spelling them or writing them, you can do that. You could draw them. Dessiner, you could draw. That means dessiner means draw. You could all draw the animals. You could draw your animal. And écrivez, write down what they are. So, until next time, au revoir, bonne semaine, have a good week.